Well, hello there and welcome to episode number 47 of the Daily Sales Message, where each and every single day for at least the last 47 days in a row now, we've given you a piece of simple, actionable sales advice that's designed to help improve your performance and your confidence too. If you're new around here, my name is James Newell. I teach people how to sell for a living, and for me it comes in two parts. The first part is having what I call a clear sales message, so people have to understand what it is that you're trying to sell. And secondly, you have to have selling confidence, the ability to navigate a selling situation comfortably and confidently. In this episode of the Daily Sales Message, we're talking about years, and more specifically, years in business. Nice and simple one today. But are you already doing it? That's the question. Now, we know businesses, when they advertise the fact they've been in business for 10 years, 15 years, 20, 25, 50, 100 plus, whatever. Good for them. But I think you can start talking about how long you've been in business much sooner. And this is often missed. I think really the first marker, the first barrier to entry is 5 years. I think if you've been in business for 5 years, first of all, you've done pretty well, because running your own business is not easy. So getting it to 5 years is an impressive feat in and of itself. But I think at that point, you can start to talk about that with potential buyers, because it inspires trust and confidence in them. If you've been around for 5 years, you must be doing something right and looking after people and doing all the good stuff you're supposed to do. It's a risk minimizer, a risk limiter. So been in business for at least 5 years, start talking about that, and in particular have a graphic made. Now, it doesn't need to be one of those Laurel style graphics that you see, but have a simple graphic made you can put in your email signatures and on your headers and in your communications, either with 5 years in business or established in 2000 and whatever. But start to talk about it proactively, because it's an important and compelling and reassuring part of your business for buyers. If you haven't yet been in business for 5 years, then just make a note of when that day comes. Because before 5, I don't think you can really shout about being in business for 2 years, 18 months, whatever, because it's still it's still a fairly small amount of time. And it's not going to do what we need it to do, which is to reassure and inspire trust. Once you get to that first barrier, that 5 years, then we can start talking about it. And from there on in, 5, 10, 15, 20, etc., we're off to the races. But I think you've really got to hit that 5 years to begin with. That said, there's a million other ways you can limit risk for your buyers, which we cover in all sorts of different episodes of the Daily Sales Message, so look out for those. So that's your action point for today is, if you've been in business for at least 5 years, start to talk about it, have a graphic made, put it in all of your communications, and use it to reassure buyers that you know what you're talking about. That's it for this episode of the Daily Sales Message. Tomorrow, we're talking about bakery money. Bakery money. Now, I have to make these things deliberately intriguing, right? So you can come back and work out just what the blooming heck I'm going on about, talking about bakery money. But that's the topic for episode number 48 of the Daily Sales Message. And until then, I'll ask you to leave us a like, rating and subscribe, or share this with somebody that you know. All the support and all the lovely emails that I get from people that listen to the Daily Sales Message are really cool, and it's really interesting to hear how people are putting these things into action and seeing real results. That's it for today. I'll see you tomorrow for another edition of the Daily Sales Message.